Hey, happy Tuesday. Today we have, remember, virtual days, 3 days this week. Mrs. Bliley's actually taking a personal day today. So if you do need extra help though, Miss Amy will be on our Google Classroom from 10 to 11 and 1 to 2. If you need any additional help, just pop in and Miss Amy or myself can assist you in any way. So for today, we are on chapter 10, lesson 7. We are multiplying mixed numbers today. For our first visual, before we even get started, I just want to talk about this little bar diagram right here. The book intended for it to be a little bit more darker or more significant, but as to my eye, I was not able to really see the sections. So if you would like to make this more defined or more bold so you can see the 4 different sections, please do that now. I'm going to read example 1 and you'll see why this is just so important. A blueberry muffin recipe calls for 1/2 of the blueberries, and a blueberry pie recipe calls for 3 1/2 times more blueberries. How many cups of blueberries are needed to make the pie? So if we look back in our word problem, we can see our two fractions that we will be multiplying together are 1/2 and 3 1/2. So what we're going to do is they did separate this into 4 different sections for us, which will be very important. And we have one, this is going to be one whole up and down. We're going to shade in 1/2, and we are going to shade in 3 whole sections. And then we have 1/2 left over. So we have 1/2, 3 sections, and 1/2. That is multiplying it together. How many boxes are shaded in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We shaded in 7 squares. If you look down here, it breaks it down just a little bit more. And then it can break it down into our whole numbers and our fraction. As you can see, we have 7/4, which can then be reduced to 1 3/4. So we have 7 shaded in all together. Our denominator is 4, which then can be simplified into 1 3/4 cups of blueberries. Let's go to our next example. This will start to make a little bit more sense. Mrs. Bliley is going to help and teach you a new and different way to multiply a whole number and a fraction together so that we can look at them and we can add across and multiply easier. So let's look at 1 2/3. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to make an improper fraction. So we are making an improper fraction, and there is a trick to this, which I'm just going to show you. I'm going to do several problems with you, so if you don't get it at first, do not fret, and ask for help if you need it, if you don't understand it after this video as well. So first thing we're going to do, we have 1 1/2. We need to make this fraction improper. So we're making a mixed number to an improper fraction, so it's easier for us to then multiply. Okay, so we have 1 is our whole number and 1/2 is our fraction. So what we're going to do is we are going to times 1 and 2 together. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then we are going to add our top number. So this is a 2-step solution, or that's a plus sign. So we're going to do 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. So my improper fraction is going to be 3 on top, and my denominator stays the same, 2. So now my mixed number is now 3/2. Let's try it again with our second one. We're going to multiply denominator and then add our numerator. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 3 is 15. My denominator stays the same. Now I can simply just multiply across instead of getting all confused with my whole numbers and my fractions. So let's try this. I have 3 times 15. 3 times 15 is 45, and 2 times 4 is 8. So I multiply my numerators together, and then I multiply my denominators together. Now I think in my mind, how many times can 8 go into 45? 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40. I have 5 left over. My denominator stays the same, which is 8. So my answer is 5 5/8. Okay. Pat yourself on the back. That was a hard one. Let's try it again. Okay. So what we did, okay, so for number one, we have 4 1/5 times 1/2. So it says write in simplest form. So what we're going to do is we are going to convert our mixed number into a improper fraction. So times the denominator first by the whole number. 4 times 5 is 20, plus the numerator. 20 plus 1 is 21. So over here, we keep the denominator the same. We have 21/5 times 1/2. Our fraction is already a fraction. We do not have any whole numbers in front of it, so we can leave it. Okay, so we're going to multiply our numerators first. 21 times 1 is 21. 5 times 2 is 10. So we have 21 tenths. How many times can 10 go into 21? 2 times. I have 1 left over. My denominator stays the same. My answer is 2 1/10. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, I have one mixed number that I need to convert. So first I'm going to times my whole number by my denominator. 1 times 3 is 3. Then I'm going to add my numerator. 3 plus 1 is 4. So I have 4 and 4/3 times 2/3. Now I can multiply straight across. 4 times 2 is 8. And 3 times 3 is 9. My answer is 8/9. Okay, let's try another one. 2/2 stays the same. I do not have a whole number. I have 2 3/4. I'm going to times my whole number by my denominator. 2 times 4 is 8. Then I'm going to add my numerator. 8 plus 3 is 11. So I have 2/5 times 11/4. My denominator stays the same. And now I multiply straight across. 2 times 11 is 22. And 5 times 4 is 20. 22 20ths can be reduced. 20 can go into 22 one time. I have 2 20ths left over, which then can be reduced to 1 1/10 for my final answer. This is why it's going to do one more with you, and then I'm going to give you some practice problems. Let's look at number 4. I have 3 3/5 times 1/4. I only have one mixed number, so I'll only be changing one of them. I'm going to times my whole number by my denominator. 3 times 5 is 15, and add my numerator. 15 plus 3 is 18. Denominator stays the same. 18/5 times, I'm just bringing down that 1/4 because I do not need to change it at this time. 18 times 1, multiply straight across. Numerator times numerator, 18. Denominator times denominator, 5 times 4 is 20. I have 18/20, which then can be reduced to 9/10 for my final answer. Because I can divide by 2. Okay. It's supposed to be a 0. Pretend that's a 0. I would like you to do 5 through 10 for practice today. If you have questions, please write on the Google Classroom page or come to the office hours from 10 to 11 or 1 to 2. All right, have a great day. Bye.